Welcome to this Strategic Enrollment Planning Update. Strategic enrollment planning at NCC began in earnest at a campus-wide level in late 2015, and it has continued through the winter and spring of 2016. During the early months of the process, we formed the SEP Steering Committee and 7 subcommittees. You can see from this slide the names of those who served on the steering committee and on the subcommittees. The 7 subcommittees and the steering committee were charged with identifying the opportunities, or what we called enabling forces, that could help us grow enrollments at NCC, and with identifying the challenges, or what we called restraining forces, that could inhibit our ability to grow enrollments. These findings were assembled into a draft document called the SEP Situation Analysis. Also, the 7 subcommittees and the steering committee were charged with identifying the opportunities in a more systematic way. And as a result, we developed a list of more than 50 ideas, or what we called action plans, that could potentially grow enrollments at NCC. At the same time, the college developed key performance indicators, or KPIs, and their associated performance indicators, or PIs. We did this to ensure that when we implement the strategic enrollment plan, we will be able to measure our success by seeing positive change in our KPIs and PIs. We also did this because we believe that our SEP should be data informed. We also determined how best to communicate the SEP plan and the process to the entire campus community, and this update is part of that communication plan. By the way, if you attended an all-campus meeting and heard an SEP update, then you were at that time also participating with us in this communication plan. During the first week of February of 2016, we brought everything together: the draft SEP situation analysis, the initial KPIs and PIs, and the 50-plus suggested action plans. The SEP Steering Committee then prioritized these 50-plus action plans according to enrollment impact, expenses incurred, return on investment, the effort that would be expended if the action plan were implemented, and finally, according to the internal ability of NCC to see the action plans through to implementation. As a result of this prioritization process, the steering committee was able to narrow the list of 50-plus action plans to a list of just over 30 action plans. Remember, each of these action plans is an idea by which NCC might increase its enrollments. Each action plan also came with what we call templates, and these templates were developed by one or more of the subcommittees. Each template included the list of tasks that must be completed so that the action plan could be implemented. The templates also included projected enrollment gains and the financial implications of that action plan. So from the 50-plus action plans, we were able, through prioritization, to move to a more manageable list of just over 30. These 30-plus action plans were then handed over to a smaller group of individuals, and this smaller group is called the SEP Implementation Team. And on this slide, you can see the names of those who are involved as a part of this implementation team. Meeting weekly, the SEP Implementation Team has taken a much closer look at the 30-plus action plans and their templates. The implementation team takes a look at these action plans within the context of our institutional strategic plan, within our retention plan, and within our recruitment plan. We also take a look at those action plans within the context of our marketing environment. We were doing all of this as we were leading up to a late March 2016 visit from Dr. Klippenstein, who is our SEP consultant. He represents Noel Levitz, and he helps us to continue to move forward according to best practices in this area of strategic enrollment planning. After his visit in late March, we decided on a 2-tier approach. Normally, a strategic enrollment plan for a college like ours would include about 16 action plans, but we found it difficult as an implementation team to settle on just 16 action plans for our final SEP. We decided instead to implement a two-tier approach. We decided to go with 16 action plans in the regular strategic enrollment plan, but we also wanted to keep on board 12 what we call second-tier plans. The 12 second-tier strategies are those enrollment ideas that are not as all-encompassing in nature. They're not as strategic, if you will, as the 16 SEP action plans. The 12 in this second tier are on this list because we consider them to be low-hanging fruit. They are ideas that we should be doing regardless of whether or not we were even putting together this strategic enrollment plan. We settled on this two-tier approach so that we might do as much as possible to increase enrollments here at NCC. The second-tier strategies, which you see on your screen on this slide, they have to do with the residence hall, alternative course offerings, and so forth. Again, these strategies are within easier striking distance. If we bring the right teams of people together, we can get the job done. The agreed-upon 16 SEP official action plans are more strategic in nature and will require more financial and human capital to see them through to completion. They appear on this slide, and you can see how that some of them have to do with academic programs, and they fall under this list of the academic mix action plans. We also have 3 of the 16 that have to do with recruitment and retention, and we also have one that is co-curricular in nature. You will notice that of these 16 action plans, there are 3 that appear in dark blue. These are 3 that we tentatively plan to implement in the upcoming academic year of 2016-2017. These 3 are Hybrid Radiologic Technology Program, Marketing to Minority Populations, and Marketing to Online Students. The implementation team continues to work with these 16 action plans in order to bring their templates into line with greater degrees of accuracy. Now, please remember, these templates have lists of tasks to complete, particularly looking also at the financials and the enrollment projections. We need to know the funds that would be generated and the funds that we need in order to implement these action plans in order to enhance enrollments here at NCC. We would like to emphasize that just because an action plan is included in the SEP, it does not necessarily mean that we will definitely be able to do it. Some of these action plans require additional research, and some of them will require external funding. So the implementation team continues to work through these 16 templates in order to put them in a calendar of activities, with 3 of these starting, as I've mentioned, in 2016. So you can see that we are looking at determining which year would be most favorable for implementation for each plan through the year 2020-2021. As we finalize the 16 SEP action plan templates, the SEP implementation team continues its work in deliberating the results of research and our investigations. We are more firmly establishing the key individuals, the key persons who will be responsible for the implementation of each of these action plans. And on this slide, you can see what it looks like when we put all of the 16 SEP action plans into one single coherent Excel spreadsheet. You can see the list plans under academic mix and the list of plans under recruitment and retention, and then that one plan under the co-curricular heading. This spreadsheet shows the year that activities would be implemented and the enrollment impact of each program. You can also see the anticipated expenses of each program year by year. And at the bottom of this Excel spreadsheet, you can see the cumulative data, including enrollments and whether there will be a projected loss or gain through the 2020-2021 academic year. This is quite a document, but it is only the very top or pinnacle of the pyramid, there are multiple spreadsheets that feed into this one document. You can see, for example, on this slide before you that here we have put together the revenue and projections from the return on investments, but this Excel spreadsheet is tied to many other spreadsheets that feed into it. Now, I have updated you about where we are in the SEP process and how that we are looking ahead. Remember, Dr. Klippenstein from Noah Levitz has been working with us, and we are planning to have him back on our campus for his final visit in August of 2016. We hope then to finalize our strategic enrollment plan following his final visit. So, I've been able to provide this update to you. I thank you for listening to this update, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me or any of the members of the SEP implementation team. We are very excited about the possibilities that are in store for NCC as we continue to work hard to grow the enrollments for this fine institution.